So hello, I'll be teaching you on how to make this kind of pouch, but let me just explain things a little bit on how this works. So this is the pouch that we are going to make together. As you can see, there's just some needles here because I am trying to block the shape, so don't mind it. But this is what I am going to be teaching you today. On this pouch, I use double crochet for the body right here and then single crochet right here. However, if you want to make this pouch, you are not going to make double crochet for the body, but instead, you are going to make single crochet for all of this. Basically, single crochet and then like a little slip stitch, but mainly single crochet. So if you want to make this, just follow this tutorial exactly. It's going to turn out the same. Also, before we start, I'm going to give you some tips. As you can see at the front, there is no gap between the stitches, but the one I just worked on have some spaces in between. So to fix it, just pull the yarn that you work over as you make the stitches. So just pull it gently like this until there is no spaces in between the stitches. So we are going to start by making a slip knot. So just wrap the yarn around like this, twist it like this, and just make an X. Grab the yarn, put it on top. Just put it on top like this. Grab the yarn from the back and pull up a loop like this. So just insert your hook and then tighten the loop. So we're going to be chaining 26. To make a chain, just yarn over and pull up a loop. So just continue making 26 chain. So the first 3 chain count as your first double crochet. So we are going to do the second double crochet. So we are going to be inserting the second double crochet in the 4th chain right here. So to do a double crochet, you just yarn over and then skip the 3 stitches here. 1, 2, 3. And insert the hook into the 4th chain. Insert the hook through the upper loop like this, and then as you can see at the back you have this middle loop, and just insert your hook again through the middle loop. So basically you will be inserting your hook through both of this loop. So just yarn over again and pull up a loop, then pull through 2 and pull through 2. This is how you are going to make a double crochet. So just make 2 more double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So when you make the 4th double crochet, you are just going to pull through 2, and then with the 2 remaining loops on your hook, you will be inserting the second color. So just grab your yarn like this and pull through the 2 loops that are on your hook. So now we will be working with the purple yarn. So just insert your hook through the next stitch and make 4 double crochet in the next 4 stitches. Make sure you are working over the white yarn and also the purple yarn. But if you feel like you have carried it enough, then just let it rest at the back, or you can cut the remaining yarn. This is my last double crochet for the purple color, and with the 2 remaining loops on my hook, I'm going to change to the white yarn. So basically you're just going to change the yarn color every 4 double crochet. Just repeat this all the way down. This is how mine looks like at the end of the round. So how this pattern works is you will make 2 rows of double crochet with the same color. So this is the first row and then this is the second row. So for the second row we did the same color as the previous row. As you can see, each square are made up of 2 rows of double crochet. So after you completed the first round of squares, you will be changing the color position to make the checkered pattern. To start the next round, just chain 1 and then turn your work. Then yarn over and insert 4 double crochet in the next 4 stitches. Also remember to carry the white yarn as you make the stitches so that you don't have to weave it in later. So 1 double crochet and then 2, 3, and the last double crochet. Then change the yarn to the next color by pulling through the 2 loops and just make 4 double crochet with the white yarn. And then take the purple yarn and pull through 2, then make 4 more double crochet with the purple. And if you see that there's a gap like this, we're just going to pull the white yarn a little bit like this, and you see the gap is now gone. So you're just going to repeat this until the end of the round. Now in the last stitch, insert your hook through the V shape right here. This is where we skipped the chain when we first started. So with 2 remaining loops on your hook, just change your yarn into the next color. So chain 1, then turn your work. So now you're just going to repeat the same step, just with a different color position, because this is how you're going to be making the checkered pattern. Just continue working until the end of the round and I'll see you when you're done. For the next round, we are not going to be chaining 1 and work our way up, but instead we will be working around the stitches. So basically this is going to be the bottom of our pouch and this is going to be the body of our pouch. Change the white yarn into the next color and then we will be making our double crochet into this space right here. So insert your hook at any space and make 1 double crochet. Just adjust this a little bit. Then insert another double crochet into the same space. Then at this space here, insert 1 double crochet. And then insert it again in the same space. Then change your yarn into the white yarn. So just take your white yarn and pull through the 2 loops. Now as you can see at the bottom, we have a dash of lines. This is where we are going to insert our double crochet. Insert your hook through the stitch and make 1 double crochet. Also, I'm going to work over the tail so I don't have to weave it in later. So just adjust this a little bit. So just continue making 3 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Then when you reach the last stitch, just change the yarn color like this. So now just repeat this step until the end of the round. For the last stitch, you will be making your double crochet into the chain that we skipped at first. So this is the chain right here, as you can see. So just grab onto it and make your last double crochet, then change your color into the next color. So now we're going to make 4 double crochet into this space right here. So just insert your hook like this and then make 2 double crochet into the same stitch. Then insert your hook in the space right here and insert 2 double crochet into the same stitch. Another double crochet in the same stitch, and then change your color into the purple yarn. So this is how it looks like. This is the bottom and this is going to be the body of your pouch. Finish off with a slip stitch, so just insert your hook through the stitch and then yarn over and pull up a loop, then pull through the loop. So I'm just gonna pull this a little bit because I don't like this slip stitch to be visible on my pouch, but it's honestly just up to you. If you don't want to do it like I did, it's also fine. So now to start a new row, you can chain 2 like this, but I'm not gonna do this. Instead, I will use another method to make a double crochet. To do this, you're just going to pull the loop like this. Let me just show you again, and then hold this part tightly and then yarn over the loop. You have to hold this part tightly, if not your loop will just unravel. Let me just show you, and yarn over the loop and then insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Now you can let go of the loop that you're holding on to. So then yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. This is how you're going to do this method. So now I am going to do the double crochet. For this part, it is the same step as before. Just make 4 double crochet for each color all around. So just repeat the same step until the end of the round and I'll see you after this. Now I'm making the last 2 stitches. So for this round, we are not going to change the color, but instead we're just going to continue with the current yarn color. If you did the chain 2, then you're just going to insert your slip stitch into the chain. But if you did the other method like I did, insert your hook through the 2 loops and make your slip stitch. So I'm just going to pull this a little. So now this is how it looks like. So you're just going to continue the rows until you have 5 squares like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Plus the bottom it's 6 squares, but for the body you will just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to continue making 4 more squares and I'll see you when I'm done. So I am just going to make my last stitch. I'm just going to adjust this a little. So now what you're going to do is just take your scissors and just cut the remaining yarn. Pull through the loop and now take your darning needle and just thread your yarn into the needle like this. Now we're going to make an invisible join, so just insert your needle through the first stitch of the round. I'm just gonna pull the yarn a little bit and then insert it again through the last stitch of the round and pull through. Then pull the yarn a little bit so that it's not as visible, because you don't really want this stitch to be as visible. Then insert your needle again through the first stitch of the round. Then insert it again through the last stitch of the round. So now at the back, just weave in the remaining yarn. This is how to weave in the remaining yarn. Just insert the yarn through the stitch for 2 to 3 times to make sure that it's really secure. Then take your scissors and cut the remaining yarn. Now just repeat the same step for the other remaining yarn. And this is how the pouch looks like so far. Now we are going to move on to the next step, which is to make the flap. So for the flap, make sure that you are working at the back. Let me just show you how to identify the back side. When you have this side that is not so neat because of the slip stitch, this is your back side. Then this part where it is all neat, this is your front side. To do the flap, when you see your stitches from the top, you can see that in the corner you have these 4 stitches. Also in the left corner you have these 4 stitches too. So insert your hook through the 3rd stitch in the corner. So this is the 1st stitch, the 2nd stitch, and this is your 3rd stitch. So insert your hook through the 3rd stitch and then grab your purple yarn and pull up a loop like this, then chain 1. Then you are just going to insert 1 single crochet in the same stitch as the chain 1. Then continue making 1 single crochet all the way down until you reach the 3rd stitch in the left corner. I am almost done with mine. So the last 2 stitches. This is how the single crochet looks like. To start the next round, just chain 1 and then turn your work. Now just continue making 1 single crochet in each of the single crochet that we did. Now I am almost done with my last stitch. For the next round, it is the same step as the previous round. Just repeat the same step until you have 5 rows of single crochet. I am almost done with my last few stitches. And the last stitch. As you can see, I have 5 rows of single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for the next round, it's going to be a little different. Just chain 1 and then turn your work. Now in the first 2 chains, you are just going to make a decrease. To do that, just insert your hook, pull up a loop, then insert your hook into the next stitch and then pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. This is how you're going to make a decrease. So now you are just going to continue making 1 single crochet until you reach the last 2 stitches. At the last 2 stitches, insert 1 decrease, insert your hook and pull up a loop, then insert it again at the next stitch and pull up a loop, then pull through all 3. Then chain 1 and turn your work. So you're just going to repeat round 6 for 2 more rows. But for the last rows, if you want to make a buttonhole, it's going to be a little different. So I am going to show you that later. At the last 2 stitches, remember to make 1 decrease. So just insert the decrease like usual. So I will be using a magnetic button, but if you use a regular button, it's also fine. So for the next round, I will be showing you on how to make the buttonhole. And then if you use a regular button, you can just sew it in the middle right here. So for this round, just make a decrease in the corner. Then make a single crochet like usual, but stop when you reach the middle of your pouch if you need to make a buttonhole. So when you reach the middle like this, if you want to do a buttonhole, just chain 3, just chain 3 and then skip the 3 stitches in the middle. So just make one single crochet in the next stitch. And then just continue making one single crochet until the last 2 stitches, and then in the last 2 stitches you're just going to make your normal decrease if you have a buttonhole. But I will be using a magnetic button, so for me I am just going to insert one single crochet as usual all the way down. Now I am making a decrease in the last 2 stitches. Now turn your work and we're going to make a slip stitch all around the flap. Just insert one slip stitch in the next stitch. You don't have to chain one, just insert the slip stitch. Now just continue making a slip stitch all around the flap. Just continue making it around the flap and then at the front body until you reach the first slip stitch right here. Then in the corner right here, you can see the little space. Just insert your hook through the space like that. Just insert it like that and then make a slip stitch. So just insert your hook through any space that you found and make a slip stitch all around. Then when you reach the corner right here, you are going to insert the slip stitch in the space where you did the last single crochet in the first round. So just insert one slip stitch. Then just continue making the slip stitch like this until you reach the corner right here. Then when you reach the last stitch over here, just make one slip stitch in the space where you did the first single crochet. Then insert the hook through any place where you find space. So I'm just gonna insert it over here. Then insert it over here. So this is my first slip stitch and this is my last slip stitch. As you can see, I only have one more space right here to do a slip stitch. So when I have just one more space to do a slip stitch, what I'm going to do is just cut the yarn like this and then pull through the yarn. Then just take your darning needle and thread the yarn. Then I am going to make a back slip stitch. So just insert your needle in the first slip stitch of the round. Then insert the needle into the last slip stitch right here. and just adjust this fake stitch so that it looks like any other zip stitch. As you can see, it looks like any other zip stitch. So now turn your work to the back, then weave in the remaining yarn. When you're done, just cut the remaining yarn. So this is how the pouch looks like. For the final step, you will just sew on your button on the middle of your pouch. So I am going to do mine off camera, so basically you are done with the tutorial.